my God, there was 10, and she was 5 and 6 right there. Top 2, I think she just got it. Holy shit. Oh, I think she got it. Oh, fuck.
Next up, Bodybuilding Podcast. Super happy to have this person back. We'll just jump right into it. Welcome back, Arianna, and welcome to the IFBB Pro League.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. How does it feel?
Weird. It still has not completely set in yet. As I get approached and told congratulations more, and welcome to the league more, it kind of starts to rub the surface and rub it in a little bit. And then also heading into a pro debut, it kind of makes it more real because then you have pro athletes that you looked up to and admired and you know, watched their posing to get tips, pointers, and look at and gawk and awe. And now you're like, I'm going to be on stage with them. Oh, okay. Sure.
Work, Charles, work! Stay tight!
51 and 346.
Right away, Charles!
335.
Stay tight, girl!
Dual 180 to make that back wall.
Show those glutes, 335! Come on, Em!
Let's go, B!
Push, Lord. Turn. Turn, Lord. Pop it! 35! Got it, girl! Breathe! 35!
Hold it! And face forward.
It's going to be fun. Trust me. You're going to enjoy it. The experience is going to be completely different. I was just thinking, and I talked to DeMarcus Harris, I'm going to say his last name right, about this. Every pro, when you go to these shows, they're a lot nicer than the amateurs. Like the atmosphere is completely different.
Okay, so I've been told that, and I was just like, they're like, it's not really like, I guess, high schoolish backstage.
Yeah.
So I was like, that'll be refreshing.
Don't bring your headphones. You won't need them.
I guess I'll leave them at home, but I used to go everywhere with those.
You can walk in with them, but like when you get backstage and you're doing your little pump up, everyone's just kind of talking. It's just, everyone's just chill. It's really nice.
So it's one like the family environment.
Yes. I don't know how that came about, but when you think about it, you all work your butt off, and at the end of the day, it's just up to the judges to pick who they like. Because all you guys look great, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the respect that you get from each other is just, it's through the roof, and it makes the whole experience different. Yeah. Oh, and how the expediters treat you, completely different too. You're going to like it.
Oh, I've always gotten treated nice by the expediters, so.
Even better.
After so many times of doing national shows back to back, you start to get to know who's going to be backstage. So it's like, oh, hey, haven't seen you since last year or a few months ago. So
I'm back.
And for me, it's really hard to miss H class. Like, we're the tallest girls. We're the ones that they're waiting on to get on stage and get off stage so they can go home or go eat.
Exactly. What's wrong with that? But question, how did you come to this, being a pro? Because last time we talked, Universe was not on the docket.
There was nothing on the docket. What was on the docket was game train and get these legs to come along with my back and arms.
Okay.
As well as I do, I work out in Destination. So we have a lot of NPC competitors, a lot of IFBB pros as well around us. One of my friends, Christina, she was competing at North American. She first competed at Junior National, and then she competed at North Americans. I had, before that, kind of seen her suit, and I said, hey, you might need one that's fully encrusted. You can use mine because it's honestly just sitting in the closet. As I'm building for figure, I'm like, I can barely fit it anymore for check-ins or anything. And I watched her at North Americans this year win overall. The bug bit me.
Okay. So from North Americans getting bit by the bug, you have what? 8 weeks? 12 weeks? 10 weeks?
It was actually 8. I
8
ended up
weeks.
messaging Hughley, my coach, and said, "Hey, Shane, I need 30 minutes of your time. I know you're busy with all these other athletes, and you're making pros today and tomorrow and probably the next. And I'm not even in prep, but I need 30 minutes." And he's like, "What?" You know, and I'm like, he's like, "Don't tell me you want to quit." And I'm like, no, not that.
Mm-hmm. The opposite.
He said, "You need to go the opposite direction." I said, "I don't think I want to, with COVID this year, the league provided that anyone who competed in a national show, not just top 5, was allowed to go ahead and just roll back into a national show. You didn't have to nationally qualify again." And I said to him, I don't want to just throw away my national qualification this year, I think. With what I'm seeing, savage part of me, with what I'm seeing at North Americans, what stepped on stage, and no offense to any girl that won, but what stepped on stage at North Americans, I knew for myself, not coming from a cocky place, but a confident one, that I was competition. Yeah. And I said to him, I will do whatever it takes to get me back to where I was and step on that stage and plan to win, not just to show up, plan to win. And he said, it's only like 8-9 weeks away to the first show. I said, okay, so this is the conversation. So which show are you going to be at? Because, I want my coach there. He says, I'm going to be at all 3. I said, well, which one is that? He said, Universe, USA's, or Universe, Nationals, and USA's. I said, okay, let's kick it. He said, do you want to go for all 3? I said, sure. I said, I know you're going to cut my carbs completely or either in half, minimally. And I know my cardio is about to go through the roof, but I've done 8-week, I've done 3-week prep before. Let's go. And that's how it began. It was, I'm not going to say anything to anyone except for Miss Sheila Brown, because I'm going to be like, hey, I need to book a posing routine with you. Bikini
and a couple sessions
kind of changes as it goes through the season. I said, I need to kind of get your visuals on me and to work on. So I met with her twice leading into the show. And then, of course, my coach seen me weekly check-ins, and then sometimes we had check-ins twice a week. So leading up into the show. So
how was this prep with 8 weeks? Were you doing 2.5 hours of cardio a day? Did you have 50 grams of carbs? What was it like? You were training for bigger.
I love my coach. We're gonna stick with that. I'll tell you. I was at 90 minutes, and when he tried to go up, my body said there was no more mental compass to compensate.
You couldn't just start up like Game of Thrones again, or The Sopranos to get you through.
For me, I went on the treadmill at first. I attempted to go on the treadmill, and it was, try to throw on some Netflix, watch the episode series Ratchet about the nurse and whatnot. And I'm like, that's a good 45-minute hour show. I can watch that at a time, or 30-minute show, get my 45 minutes of cardio done. Well, when the increments started to go up every single week, and I was like, we're going to have to put on layers and then start walking outdoors. Even one of my pro friends, he's from Philadelphia. He asked me, he was like, you look like you're at a very slow pace. I was like, first of all, get off of my stories. And then secondly, I take a pace of songs that keep me to the same 3.0 pace on a treadmill. So
you got your own playlist, is what you're saying.
30 songs strong, 3 different playlists to choose from.
Dang. Okay.
One is 90s music, 90s R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
One is Afro beats, and then another is a mixture of all today's hip hop that I like of certain songs here and there.
Yeah. So that's how you get your cardio done.
Get the playlist, because after a while I couldn't just stay on the treadmill anymore. I was like, okay, I needed scenery and change and something. But yeah, that's how that worked. That's how that works.
So what would you say the biggest difference this prep? Because the end results after these 8 weeks was a pro card.
Yes.
Right? How is this prep different?
This prep was different because this is the most cardio I have ever done in my life. First of all.
Really? Okay.
To put it into perspective, I normally weigh anywhere between 141 and 139 on stage.
Okay. And you're at H. I'm
in H class, and I was at 168 pounds at the beginning of prep.
You're a little thick.
just a
little thick.
A little bit.
From Bikini.
Just had to walk it off, you know.
Yeah.
If I got mad in the house, it was like, all right, go walk some more randomly.
Yeah.
Walk to the store, walk to Walmart, walk back. Just add in.
Yep. Damn, that's the only way to do it sometimes. Okay. How is the food? How is the training?
Food was similar, very similar. And I love the fact that my coach makes it a tad bit flexible, but for mine, of course, it was a cut from, eating chicken and peanut butter and all the carbs and all the protein to cut it out.
Yeah, cut all nonsense.
The one biggest difference was my cardio, I guess you can say, and then another one was, out of all the coaches I've had, I've never had a coach to cut my carbs completely.
Oh, really?
And no other prep besides this one did I actually cut my carbs completely. I think we did that for a week or so, and it was right before peak week.
Yeah.
So that is something that I have never experienced. That mental, you don't know what to do with your brain when you get angry at somebody, or your hands just have to stand there and be mad with yourself and be quiet so that you don't cuss somebody all the way out, because I could really choke you. But my moral compass says I'm gonna just swallow this water because I got 2 gallons of it to drink today. And keep it moving and say, you know what? You can have that one today. You can have that one. Even while you're driving, it's the same thing. You want to cut me up?
I know you're military, so you're probably packing.
Usual.
They better watch.
CHL equipped. It's fair.
So tell me, all right, you get to, the show was in South Carolina. So you fly from Dallas to South Carolina. How was that whole experience?
Meanwhile, I'm with JM. I don't like airlines. I've been with them for 10 years.
I'm gold on American. They treat me hugely well.
I've been with them for 10 years. They should have treated me better. I have my, my weave back in a bun. Mask on. Sweat jacket top. Ralph Lauren sweatsuit that I have, and a black shirt. You're allowed 2 carry-ons for anybody. But women are allowed their purse as an exception because they're women. Well, I guess I didn't look like one that day. I guess I just looked like...
Oh, shit.
So we're rolling along. We get to the front, guys. 3 bags. This is my purse. My Louis. It's my Louis. It's just the Louis. It's the Louis.
Stay with me.
And then I have my roll, and then I have my backstage, the Shoe Fairies duffel. The backstage duffel. Okay. I'm got my small little roll and carry on, and they're like, oh, this is such a full flight. And he was like, it has to go underneath the plane. Now my mind's trying to think, wait, which bag got the shoes, suit, heel, and jewelry in? Because we got to make sure that stays with me just in case it doesn't make it there. The makeup I can replace. So I was like, okay, the rolling one can go. I said, but that one can't, and neither can my purse. Because at first I was like, you guys, I'm allowed a purse. Those are my 2 bags. So why are we? The lady was like, it needs to go in. Okay, you know what?
I thought the purse counted.
Yeah, I said, you know what? Have it, take it. Because, you know, I'm trying to start off this, because I flew in a day early. I flew in Tuesday. I didn't fly in on check-in day. I flew in a day early on purpose. Because something said to me, something can go wrong.
It always can.
So I let them roll that. We're walking down tarmac. And I'm like, I don't understand why they just did that. They let 50 million people come on with 3 bags. You have 3 bags. You know, because he's got my meals, and then the roller and his backpack. And I'm like, you're a guy, and they allowed you 3. What?
Really?
Forget it. So as we're speaking, walking down the tarmac in a little chute, here she comes from behind. Ma'am. And I'm like, she can't be speaking to me. So I finally just turn around and I look, and she's like, she walks straight up to me. Are we gonna have a problem on the airplane? Because I have to be concerned for the other our other customers that are flying on American. I said, ma'am, the only thing you need to be concerned about is my bag making it to my connecting flight and to its final destination. Because this veteran on Veterans Day is the last person you have to be worried about on this airplane. Thank you. I collect my headphone to put back on noise canceling and continue to walk down the tarmac.
That is the strangest thing ever.
And he turned around. He said, "No, ma'am, she's fine. No, ma'am, she's fine." I was like, "I'm not doing this. What we not going to do?"
Yeah.
Because the whole Philly in me wanted to come out real quick. What we not going to do? Because I don't have a darn carb to save my life right now. I can't drink water on the plane. And I'm trying to refrain from flipping on anyone just because of that. Because that is not an excuse.
Yeah.
So that was the plane ride.
That was getting there. Okay.
And it was like, okay. It was like a mental check. Like, okay, this is how it's going to start. You got to flip on the switch now. Because this is how it's going to start. This is how the whole week's going to start. Turn on boss mode. Turn on the Savage Barbie. Because the whole weekend is going to go exactly like that. Because you going to have left after right punch. And you going to want to punch back. But your professionalism needs to kick in because you can't.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the plane ride. And you get there. And you tell me it goes better from there because the end result is a pro card.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. How did it feel to get back on stage?
Oh, weird. And I mean, my coach Shane knows this. Leading into this, like, I don't see it. And you look for what you've seen in prior check-in photos for yourself leading into prior shows where you almost won, the pro card. And my mental was saying, I feel like I still look watery. I don't like it. Are you sure it's okay? And he said stay off the scale. And because that was my way of knowing where I'm at, kind of. So I stayed off the scale.
Sometimes.
No, I wanted to buy another one. So, it was a lot of that. Second guessing. I was literally nervous to the point like I was back on my first show in Europa. Literally, I was nervous to a T. I wasn't showing it, but I was in Marine mode of I put my headphones on, my scarves on my head, and let's kick it.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm here to do is just kick it. I said hi to a couple of people that I knew. Others told me I walked right past them. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have blinders because if I go outside of them blinders, I'm gonna break down and cry.
Yeah.
And I mean, Charleston was great because they were very accommodating at the hotel. It was much like the Charleston Marriott. They were very accommodating us. They had their own special menu for us so that we were able to not go off. Sorry about that. So we didn't have to worry about going off of our diet and such.
Yeah.
So they were just really accommodating. It made it really easy going. We just were required to wear a mask indoors. Since we were within close quarters, it was fine. But it was nice. That was my second time during Universe, but my first time doing it at the Charleston Marriott. I basically had to walk in with an open mind and no expectations.
Yeah. And it worked out pretty well. I'm trying to think because that's a Steve show. So you had Sandy and Tyler as head judges.
Yes.
Sandy was judging all of the women's, and then Tyler judging all the men's.
Well, Tyler was sitting next to Sandy during Bikini, though.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
He sat through all of Bikini.
Tyler was to the left, or to the right of Sandy, because looking out it was Sandy and then Tyler.
Okay.
And actually Steve was, since we're all kind of spread out, you can really kind of see everybody. Steve was off to the right hand of the stage, sitting in the crowd, and so it was like nerve-wracking all at the same time. It was like he was judging, but he wasn't at the same time.
When I went up last year, in 2019, when I came down, when all of like the class winners were waiting for the stage shots, he said something like he doesn't judge his own shows. So like New York Pro, he'll put it on, but he doesn't judge it. Universe, he'll put it on, but he has everybody else judge it, which I thought was pretty commendable, and I thought that was nice. But I would have loved to have already been judged by Steve at this point.
Yeah, and I don't, to the best of my knowledge, unless he was sitting on the Amateur Olympia panel, then I was judged by him. That would have been the time that I think he would have been there and seen him in 2018. Otherwise, I have never been seen by him.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It was
like one of the judges.
I'm telling you, first of all, let's talk about how many girls were there in my class.
How many? That show was it big or small? Because we had one of our friends who turned pro in physique.
Huge. Everyone, I think, waited till the week before to say, "Oh, wait, it's like it was like Monday at 5 p.m. you could still enter," and after that it went up. So it was like I think everybody just waited till the last minute and said, "Oh, okay, now we're gonna pop in." And I know for me, I was just like, "Oh, all right." 38 women in H class alone. We're not talking about A, B, C, or D.
G, H.
It's the last.
Damn.
It's the last class. So, and here's what made it a little bit more stacked. Our call out, the first call out was 10 of us.
I hated that. We just came back from nationals. That's the one thing I did not like.
I was like
8
10.
people want to call out.
7, 9.
Yeah.
10.
That's the whole. They covered up the whole stage.
I was the 10th number called out, so.
Okay. You glad it went up to 10 and you could battle for first.
the nerves that were going through my mind. It was like a replay of USA's when I forgot my number because we had to stack on the stage left and right. So we had to form 2 lines. So I was like, okay, this is a repeat of USA's. You got your number, 478, 478, 478. Wait,
nice.
478.
That's so cute.
It was in my head, like, you're not forgetting this number again. Because Sheila will have my butt.
Yeah.
if I do that again. So I turned around and they were calling the girls, and then they said 478. I'm like, all right, excuse me. Let me make my way right over here on the side part and angle to y'all. Thank you. Make sure I look at the judges and said, oh, thank you for calling my
acknowledge
number.
them. Yeah.
And then we shifted, and then shortly thereafter they moved one girl. I'm like, all right. And then they moved me. I'm like, all right. And they put me in the
Where'd
box.
they move you? Okay. The place you want to be.
From the outside to the box. The first girl they moved was the girl, Chelsea Stone Street. And she won first. I won second to her. They put us right next to one another. But they had her on my right, and then they moved it to the left, and then we just stayed there. The hardest part, and this is the reason why anyone I come into contact with that even remotely enters into bodybuilding, I tell them, get a good, reputable posing coach. Why? Because when you get on that stage, there are going to be things you forget, and it needs to be muscle memory. Why does, Sheila Brown make you stay in a pose for almost 30 seconds? Because we stayed in our front pose. We had turned around three times. The rear pose we stayed in for about 25 seconds, and then when they had us turn back around again, I counted it the other day because I actually asked Chelsea to send me the video because her fiance got it. I said, hey, can you send me a video of that? I really need that. And I counted the seconds. It was 47 seconds. We stayed in the front pose. And I remember the biggest thing I remember, thank God that I had hurt and everything changed, bless him. Because when I first went to the middle, Savage came on, not Barbie. So Savage did the whole, and he's sitting there in the crowd, like, right behind Sadie. All I saw was him stand up, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, sorry, don't worry, I got it, it's there. That was the only thing that I noticed now. My brain went, okay, compete. But it forgot to turn on the smile. Like it was like pose, holding tight, everything else. But that was the one thing I could say on stage that I truly forgot was to smile. I was enjoying the moment, scared at the moment, all at the same time. Like, look in my head, don't mess up the moment. Trying to remember every part he told me opposing, every part Sheila told me opposing, everything that his wife had kind of said to me when she looked at our posing too, saying, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I'm like, all right, hit. But they turned us around 3 times. And then when we stood in that front pose, I was just like, smile and stay staring at him. He told me, he said, I don't care. He said, I don't care who you stare at. Whoever is in the center, he's like, you stare at them. He's like, give the other judges their time. Yes, thank you. But stare at her. Stare at them. I was like, he's like, demand the attention. He's like, don't just give me this hard face, but I still did it anyway. But
it worked out off okay, I think.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was very much a overjoyed experience. It still is like, kind of setting in at this point. But then, you have Miss Sheila Brown, and she was one of the, first couple of people to congratulate me on my pro card win status.
Yeah, that actually kind of brings me up to something.
Huh?
That actually kind of brings me up to something else, but I'll let you finish.
At the bottom of it says, she asked my coach, "Hey Shane, can she do the Battle of Texas?"
She didn't even ask you. You're
Hi.
like, I'm done for the
Somebody
year.
asked
You
me,
about to go?
I'm trying not to cuss. Can somebody ask my black ass, do I want to do this show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I want to keep continuing going through prep? I wanted a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I'm a foodie. If anybody doesn't
Maybe
know,
some
I'm
steak.
very much a foodie. I'm very much a foodie. I first of all, Oreos are my favorite, or dark chocolate Reese's.
Same.
Like, you
Wife
bring
loves
me a bag of
Reese's.
dark chocolate Reese's and be like, "What you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you need?" Because obviously you need something to stand with a bag of dark chocolate Reese's or a bag of Oreos in your hand. Like, you must need something from me.
I'll remember this.
So yeah, I just, I loved it. I embraced it, and I love the fact that she even thought of me as a person to invite to her show, because her show is very big now. 5 years.
Oh, it's massive.
Running.
I think last year they had 400 competitors.
Yeah. So now
somewhere around there.
Yeah, and every year it's just going up and up and up and up.
Yep.
So for I was like, okay, personal invite. I can't. Nope.
Yeah. How do you treat?
It's like, hey.
So Battle of Texas is in another week or so.
Yes,
so you have to stay on prep for another 3 weeks. So this Battle of Texas almost makes it a full real prep.
Literally, it really does. Because Shane was like, Shane was like, you get one meal.
Oh, that's terrible. Not even. I'll do brunch.
Oh, no, that wasn't terrible. You know what my one meal was?
I don't know.
Fogo de chao.
Never had that.
Steak in multiple different fashions, passed around, cut in front of you, and sliced right onto your plate. Yep.
All right.
Steak. I had some loaded mashed potatoes, and of course, in all bikini girl fashion, I ended it with asparagus.
Atta girl. That is awesome. Man, that sounds like one of my. That sounds like a normal meal for me, actually.
No
offense.
Guys, y'all always have steak.
Yeah, we keep it in there for a while. It's pretty nice.
I'm over here with chicken and shrimp, and that's about what it's.
Some white fish.
Like, there's a couple other things that I can change to, but those two are my favorite. Those two are.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we've got Battle Texas with Sheila and Freddie coming up in the next, 10 days out or so.
Yes, and he was one of the other people that congratulated me too.
Yeah. So you got to get through Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow.
I have a turkey in my
try not
fridge.
to eat anything.
I have 2 blocks of cheese in my fridge for macaroni and cheese.
Just stay home. Don't do anything. Let everyone else starve. Don't cook. That's my best advice.
I'm like, I guess, I love y'all. As long as y'all don't try to make me eat y'all food, I'm good. Don't bring me the sweet potato pie. Don't bring me the apple rum cake.
Yeah.
Don't bring me the ham or the candy yams. Keep it all to yourself.
Yeah, on your plate. Don't ask questions. That's awesome.
I got so bad to the point where in peak week, I smelt cookies and my mouth started to water.
Salivating. Yeah.
Like
that's the worst. Yep.
We're just like, God.
I'm embarrassed that that resonates. I know what that's like. Your mouth just starts, you're watching TV and someone's eating a cookie or anything and your mouth starts to salivate.
What is it?
It's the most primitive, barbaric, maybe shameful thing I've ever experienced.
And there's the one show I was looking at, what is it? Beers, Brews, or something, Brews.
Oh, you can't watch that, yeah.
I was like, oh, you just want me to just pass out. This is just too much. Burgers, Brews, and Q. Oh, okay. You just
Nice.
it's not even fair. And that was
right,
that was the first channel that came onto my TV in my hotel room. Put on the TV. First channel. Welcome, Arianna, to Marriott guided menu, little TV, food. Are you kidding me right now? Turn back
That's
on.
awesome.
I was like, Netflix.
How are you feeling walking into Sheila's show?
What was that?
How you feeling walking into Sheila's show?
Again, nervous.
Okay. It's fair to be nervous.
I even explained it to one of my teammates. She's in the NPC. She's also still currently in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And she's like, "How are you feeling? Like, how are you adjusting?" And you know, my whole thought on it was, you have to understand, like, it's great you have the achievement now. Like, my goal was always to get the pro card. It wasn't just to get the pro card and stay there either. But the whole fact of the matter is, I'm like, I'm the lowest crab in the barrel again.
Yep.
I have to climb my way up. Like, it's different. I was like, you got the accomplishment, but you start all the way down there. So, you know, I said, I have to start doing shows and sticking on course, sticking on track. Thank God for my supplement company, Line One. They have been biggest help. Yes, they have been the biggest help with my prep. If I needed something, usually I would message Dean and say, "Hey, I'm out."
Yeah.
Because my prep brain usually forgets right the day before or some mess.
You're pretty good at it.
So I do use their products, and it's always worked since before when I was a sponsored athlete with the Ultimate Competitor with them. They've never failed me, not even once. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, it's a little nerve wracking, kind of.
Okay. Bye.